Daf Yomi, Tractate Sanhedrin, page 75a, Daf Ayin Hey Amid Aleph, and little gematria. Sanhedrin Ayin Aleph equals 454, and 454 equals Tamid, which means always. And the Daf Yomi is something that is Tamid, it's always. And that's what I think about when I see the number 454, is the word Tamid. And with that, let us start with the top of the Amud, the words Im Isa. V'im Isa la le malay, aha betsina, aha bifar hesya. And if it is so that a descendant of Noah is commanded about the sanctification of God's name, he should not have said to him, go in peace. The Gemara answers this situation where Elisha permitted Naaman's conduct happened in private. When Naaman bowed down in the house of Rimmon, he did not do so in the presence of 10 Jews. Whereas that question was raised, the question that was raised is whether or not a descendant of Noah must sanctify God's name in public in the presence of 10 Jews. Consequently, the question remains without a solution. It's interesting that this question remains without a solution, but it's not a teku. I've had a question about all the times in Shas. There are many times when it says it leaves with kasha, it's a question, or kasha, on someone. But, and sometimes it doesn't even say kasha, it's just left without answering it. But there are certain times when teku is said, which is also an expression of an unanswered question, but the why one or the other, that's also for me a teku, a personal teku. Amar Rav Yehuda Rav Maaseh b'adam she'echad shenasan einav b'isha achas v'hela libo tina uba'u shelo oifi v'amru ein lo takana ad shetiba'el. Amru chachamim yamus v'al tiba'el tamod lifanav arumah Yamus ve'al ta'amod lifanav aruma. Tisaper imo me'achorei hageder. Yamus tisaper imo me'achorei hageder. Apropos, the discussion of the obligation to allow oneself to be killed rather than to engage in forbidden sexual intercourse, the Gemara notes Rav Yehuda says, that Rav says, there was an incident involving a certain man who set his eyes upon a certain woman, and passion rose in his heart to the point that he became deathly ill. And they came and asked doctors what was to be done with him. And the doctors said, he will have no cure until she engages in intercourse with him. The sages said, let him die, and she may not engage in intercourse with him. The doctors said, she should at least stand naked before him. Well, what will that help? Oh my goodness. What kind of doctors are these? How is that going to help? The sages said, let him die, and she may not stand naked before him. The doctor suggested the woman should at least converse with him behind a fence in a secluded area, so that he should derive a small amount of pleasure from the encounter. The sages insisted, let him die, and she may not converse with him behind a fence. Nothing was said about this woman. It's really hard to. It's kind of mysterious. It wasn't even. We don't know if she was married or not. We don't know. Okay. Anyway, pligi ba Rav Yaakov Baridi v'Rav Shmuel bar Nachmani. Chad amar eshes ish haisa v'chad amar pnoya haisa. Bishlon amar eshes ish haisa shapir elaman damar pnoya haisa mai kuli hai. The Gemara comments Rav Yaakov Baridi and Rav Shmuel bar Nachmani disagree about this issue. One of them says the woman in question was a married woman, and the other one says she was unmarried. The Gemara tries to clarify the issue. Granted, according to the one who says that she was a married woman, the matter is properly understood, since the case involved severely prohibited forbidden relationship, the sages did not allow any activity hinting at intimacy. But according to the one who says that she was unmarried, what is the reason for all this opposition? Why did the sages say that the man must be allowed to die rather than have the woman do as was requested? Rav Papa Amar, Rav Papa says, Mishum begam mishpache. Rav Acha bereda v'ika Amar, Kedei shelo yihu b'nois Yisrael p'chutzos b'rayos. Rav Papa says this is due to the potential family flaw, meaning harm to the family name, as it is not permitted to bring disgrace to the entire family in order to save a lovesick man. Rav Acha, son of Ika, says this is so that the daughters of Israel should not be promiscuous with regard to forbidden sexual relations. Were they to listen to the doctor's recommendations, the Jewish women might lose moral restraint. V'lenas be'minisav, v'lo misyavidaite, k'de Rabbi Yitzchak damer Rabbi Yitzchak, miyom shechar b'es hamikdash nitlo ta'am biyo, v'nitlo la'ovdei avero, shne'emar ma'im genuvim ta'aku, v'lechem sesorim yinoim. The Gemara asks, but if the woman was unmarried, let the man marry her. Let the man marry her. The Gemara answers, his mind would not have been eased by marriage. In accordance with the statement of Rabbi Yitzchak, as Rabbi Yitzchak says, since the day the temple was destroyed, sexual pleasure was taken away from those who engage in permitted intercourse and given to transgressors. As it is stated, stolen waters are sweet, and bread eaten in secret is pleasant. Proverbs 9:17. Therefore, the man could have been cured only by engaging in illicit sexual interaction. Wow. Hadran alach ben Tzara Hadran alach ben Tzara Hadran alach ben Tzara. May we return to you, Ben Tzara. The 8th parak of Sanhedrin. Let's see your 8th chapter. 8th chapter, let's see. My computation. Yes. Ben Soira and Moira. Very nice. The 8th chapter, Sanhedrin. Yeah. And now we're starting the 9th chapter, which is going to be Ve'elu heina nisrafin. These are those who get boint. You know what it means to get boint? Burnt. 793. Apash, it's 838. Which equals Melech beyafyo techzena inecha. Okay. Mishnah says, starting the 9th parak of Elohein Nisrafin, Zog the Heilige Mishneh, Ve'elohein Nisrafin, Habal Isha Bito, Ubas Koyin Shezinsel. And these are the transgressors who are burned in the implementation of court-imposed death penalty. One who engaged in intercourse with a woman and her daughter, and one who is the daughter of a priest and committed adultery. Yesh bechlal isho bito, bitoy ubas bitoy, ubas benoy ubas ishtoy, ubas bito ubas beno, chamoy sevim chomiv. Included in the category of the prohibition of engaging in intercourse with a woman and her daughter, and the resulting execution by burning, there are his daughter, and the daughter of his daughter, and the daughter of his son. Likewise, the following are included in this category: intercourse with the daughter of his wife, even though she is not his daughter, and the daughter of her daughter, and the daughter of her son, as well as intercourse with his mother-in-law, and the mother of his mother-in-law, and the mother of his father-in-law. The prohibition and punishment apply both in cases where a man marries a woman and then engages in intercourse with her daughter, and in cases where a man marries a woman and then engages in intercourse with her mother. Nice. Okay, next. Now Gemara. Zog the Heilige Gemara, Habal Isha Shenasa Bito, Loikatoni Ela Bal Isha Bito, Michlal de Davar Isuro, Umayninu, Chamoisa, Chamoisa. The Tana does not teach the case of one who engaged in intercourse with a woman whose daughter he previously married. Rather, the Tana teaches the case of one who engaged in intercourse with a woman and her daughter. By inference, one may conclude that both the woman and her daughter are mentioned in the Mishnah for the purpose of establishing that there is a prohibition of intercourse with either of them. And when he engages in intercourse with the first of them, he is liable to be executed. And who are these women? The reference is to his mother-in-law and the mother of his mother-in-law. Vikatani, and the Tana teaches, and the Tana teaches additional women are included in the category of the prohibition of and a punishment for engaging in intercourse with a woman and her daughter. By inference, one may conclude knowledge of the law is sin. No, that's not part of this thing, but it just reminds me of that idea. By inference, or something like that, paraphrasing. Inference, one may conclude that with regard to both his mother-in-law and the mother of his mother-in-law, the prohibition and punishment are written explicitly in the Torah. And with regard to those additional women enumerated in the Mishnah, the prohibition and punishment are derived by means of interpretation. The Gemara comments, this works out well according to Abaye, who says that with regard to the dispute between Rabbi Yishmael and Rabbi Akiva, cited later in the Gemara, in 76b, the difference between their opinions is only concerning the interpretation of the meaning of the verse. But there is no practical difference between their opinions. According to Abaye, whose opinion is expressed in the Mishnah, it is the opinion of Rabbi Akiva. Abaye explains that Rabbi Akiva maintains that the prohibition of engaging in intercourse with the mother of one's mother-in-law is stated explicitly in the Torah. But according to Rava, who says that the difference between their opinions is with regard to the prohibition of engaging in intercourse with one's mother-in-law after the death of his wife, whose opinion is expressed in the Mishnah. The opinion of the Tana of the Mishnah corresponds neither to the opinion of Rabbi Akiva nor to the opinion of Rabbi Yishmael, as they both maintain that the prohibition of engaging in intercourse with the mother of one's mother-in-law is not stated explicitly in the Torah. The Gemara answers, Rava could say to you, amend the Mishnah and teach, one who engaged in intercourse with a woman whose daughter he previously married. Yesh bechlal isho vita chamoisim chamoisoi pim chamiv lebai adi dekaboil mistim chamiv toninami chamoisim chamoisoi. The Mishnah teaches, included in the category of the prohibition of engaging in intercourse with a woman and her daughter, and resulting in execution by burning, there are his mother-in-law, and the mother of his mother-in-law, and the mother of his father-in-law. The Gemara comments, Abaye holds that everyone agrees, shades of Yevamos. Abaye holds, no, that's not what he said, it's my own comment. Abaye holds that everyone agrees that the prohibition of engaging in intercourse with one's mother-in-law is stated explicitly in the Torah. The Tana enumerates his mother-in-law together with relatives concerning whom the prohibition is derived by means of interpretation. Therefore, according to Abaye, since the Tana seeks to teach that the mother of his father-in-law is included in the prohibition, he teaches the halacha of his mother-in-law and the mother of his mother-in-law as well, despite the fact that the prohibition of engaging in intercourse with one's mother-in-law is stated explicitly in Torah. By contrast, Rava holds that the woman and her daughter mentioned in the first clause of the Mishnah are his wife and his mother-in-law. Therefore, according to Rava, since the Tana seeks to teach that the mother of his father-in-law, and the mother of his mother-in-law, the mother of his father-in-law and her daughter, maybe. The mother of his father-in-law. Anyway, the mother of his mother-in-law are included in the prohibition. He teaches the halacha of his mother-in-law in the latter clause as well, despite the fact that this is stated explicitly in the Torah. Mino hanimili Tanu abanan ish asher yikach es isha v'yis'imo ein li elo isha v'imo bas isha ubas bito ubas bino minayin. The Mishnah enumerates several women with whom intercourse is forbidden, who are included in the prohibition of engaging in intercourse with a woman and her daughter, which is punished by execution by burning. The Gemara asks, from where are these matters derived? Mina hanimili. They are derived as the sages taught. And if a man takes a woman and her daughter, it is lewdness. They shall be burned with fire, both him and them. And there shall be no lewdness among you. Leviticus 20:14. I have derived only that this punishment applies to one who engages in intercourse with a woman and with her mother. From where is it derived that one who engages in intercourse with the daughter of the woman who married to him, or with the daughter of her daughter, or with the daughter of her son, is also liable to be executed by burning? Nemar kan zima, v'nemar lahalan zima. Ma lahalan bito bat bino, afkan bito bat bita, ubat bino. The Braisa continues. Lewdness is stated here. Lewdness is stated here with regard. No, I'm sorry. Just lewdness is stated here with regard to the punishment. There shall be no lewdness among you. Leviticus 20:14. And lewdness is stated there with regard to the prohibition. You shall not uncover the nakedness of a woman and her daughter. You shall not take her son's daughter. You shall not take her son's daughter. That's her granddaughter. Oh? Or her daughter's daughter. To uncover her nakedness. They are near kinswomen. It is lewdness. Leviticus 18:17. It is derived by means of a verbal analogy that just as there the prohibition applies to a woman's daughter, and the daughter of her daughter, and the daughter of her son, so to here, the punishment of burning applies to one who engages in intercourse with the woman's daughter, and to the daughter of her daughter, and to the daughter of her son. Minayin lasis zochal miknekei voice. The Braita continues, from where is it derived to render the status of males like that of females with regard to this punishment? Lewdness is stated here and lewdness is stated there. Just as there the Torah renders the status of males like that of female relatives, so to here the Torah renders the status of males like that of females. Minayin lasis lamata kilimalo, nemakan zima, nemahalan zima, malahalan lamata kilimalo, afkan lamata kilimalo, umakan limala kilimata, aflehalan limala kilimata. From where is it derived to render the status of relatives below, like the status of relatives above? Lewdness is stated here, and lewdness is stated there. Just as there the Torah renders the status of relatives below, like that of relatives above, so to here, the Torah renders the status of relatives below, like the relatives above. Just as here the Torah renders the status of relatives above, like that of relatives below, so to there, the Torah renders the status of relatives above, like that of relatives below. Omar mar minayin lasis zochal miknekei voice. Ma zochal miknekei voice. The Gemara proceeds to elaborate on the derivations cited in the Braisa. The master says, from where is it derived to render the status of males like that of females? The Gemara asks, what is the meaning of the status of males like that of females? If we say that it means that one who engages in intercourse with the daughter of the son of his wife, okay, so he gets married, and his wife has a son, and that son has a daughter, and he engaged in intercourse with that daughter, how do we know that is executed by burning like one who engages in intercourse with the daughter of her daughter? The status of the daughter of her son and the daughter of her daughter are derived together in the first clause of the Braita, as both are written explicitly in the prohibition. Im chamoisoi hashda, im chamoisoi lo kamalan, im chamiv mihadar. Rather, this clause in the Braita means that one who engages in intercourse with the mother of his father-in-law is executed by burning like one who engages in intercourse with the mother of his mother-in-law. The Gemara asks, now, we have not yet established the halacha of one who engages in intercourse with the mother of his mother-in-law, and the Braita is seeking to derive the halacha of one who engages in intercourse with the mother of his father-in-law from the halacha of the mother of his mother-in-law.